Todd.
All right, you should be live.
Call to order the Westlake City Schools Board of Education special meeting for Monday, April 12th, 2021. Roll call.
Stoll,
Here.
Kraft,
Here.
Fanukin,
Here.
Lazinski.
Here.
You're not.
Here.
Let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This time, I'd like to acknowledge any visitors. Is there anyone here? I'd like to have an approval for the agenda.
I move to approve the agenda.
Second.
Roll call, Mr. Hopkins.
Kraft,
Yes.
Lazinski,
Yes.
Fanukin.
Yes.
You're not.
Yes.
Stoll.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Next up is hearing of the public. I see nobody here from the public, so we'll continue on. The first board committee report is legislative liaison.
I don't have anything.
You don't have any update? Okay, no update there. Next item is the student achievement liaison.
I'll mention that unofficially, the district achievement in mental health has improved through this board member's observation. Interactions with staff and students continues to be very positive and happy. Happy for our all in. Thanks to everyone who made it so. I was happy to read in Dr. Goggins' report the progress with our own diversity group with the Diversity Center of Northeast Ohio. Letter received expressed appreciation for the collaboration between collective PTA efforts and Westlake City Schools administration, continued work that the district started. And congratulations is in order for Westlake City Schools, as the schools have been recognized as a best community for music education by the National Association of Music Merchants.
Thank you. Next up is policy committee.
Working on that. Dana and I worked on it today. We have two policy sessions we're combining into one. We'll send those out.
Okay, very good. Next item is the finance audit committee.
I have nothing, Mr. Fanukin, do you?
Nothing. I don't know if we have, we haven't had a meeting in quite some time. I don't know if we're scheduled to have one sooner. I'll defer that to Mr. Hopkins.
I'm happy to send some dates to you gentlemen, even for this week, if you'd like.
Sure. I'm up for that.
And go over a finance committee. There are some topics that Mr. Kosvar, Dr. Goggin, and I would like to speak with you about.
Sure. Timely.
I'll shoot you out some dates here in a little bit.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nothing further. The next committee report is curriculum committee.
When's our next one scheduled? It's coming up in the spring. As I say, after Tufts, May something. Okay. Second. Okay. Another field trip.
Where'd you go last time?
Yes, and LDS.
So the middle school and intermediate. What do you have? Huh? Where are you going? The high school. Okay, good.
Sounds like nothing further. The final report is the community outreach committee.
A couple of things I'd like to share. The board has, and public have heard a little bit about this already, but work on these activities continues. The board continues to work with the superintendent and the director of the library on a Rotary project to put on an art festival the last day in July in the grounds of Porter Public Library. It's been a great community building event as we interact with artists that are neighbors, friends, students, artists that work for the schools, people outside the community, inside the community, as well as alumni. So we continue to work on that. The board also continues work with the Westlake Educational Foundation. I know last time I talked a little bit about the activities with that particular group, our fundraiser for our car raffle with Serpentini, but we continue to work on fundraising. And also we've begun talking about grants for the 21-22 school year. Thank you.
Next up is superintendent's recommendation.
Thank you, Dr. Stoll. I do have a few items, and I appreciate the board hearing them tonight. We have some things we would like to resolve in this mid-month meeting. The first three are in regard to a gentleman here who's here with us this evening, Rob Woods. Letter A, Superintendent Recommendation 3A is a resolution to employ Rob Woods as assistant principal at Westlake High School. 3B is a resolution to approve transition days where he would also help us with summer school this year. And then letter C is a resolution to approve a stipend for Mr. Woods to work our website. And it was previous, Kim used to do that, had the stipend, but she's gone and we now have someone to pick that up.
All right.
And so those three are in relation to Mr. Woods, who's here, and I can go through the rest of them relatively quickly. But what I would like to do is 3A, B, C together, and then we'll do letter D separately, which is a resolution to approve a 2-year collective bargaining agreement with our OPSI, Local 319. It is listed as 3 years, and the third year is only activated if it is certified by the treasurer. So it's similar to what we've done before. And I just want to express my gratitude, Mr. Hopkins, for being a great partner as we go into these negotiations. Brian Doherty and his team, our classified staff. Just, I think I talked about this before when I talked about us approving our teacher contract. Is going into this year was very difficult, and our classified union trusted us. We had a couple, actually I think 3 memorandums of understanding in different regard, different sections that we did. They've lifted the timeline for us to be able to reduce our staff. And it was just one of those things where we both really went through our MOUs with good faith and good partnership. And we didn't have to utilize any sort of reduction, but we appreciate the fact that they were there. And a good example is when we went into virtual, instead of reducing, we had bus drivers come in and paint here. It happened to be where we were renovating this building. And so instead of reducing the folks that came in and painted. So it was just one of those things where I'm so proud of how well we've worked together, and I'm very grateful for our classified staff and their leadership. And I'm very proud to present this to you this evening. And I know you had a chance to review it. If you have questions to go through, I'd be more than happy to answer them. Letter E is a resolution to approve extended time for licensed staff members. This is 2 days for our Dover Intermediate School counseling staff. We have another resolution to approve employment of classified staff members at Westlake Elementary School. Letter G is to approve an activity supplemental, Joni Patton for DIS choir director. Letter H is a resolution to approve a license staff members for duties outside of the school day, and that's Judy Buffington and Keith Owenhouse. And I did receive an email from Dr. Morgan talking about Keith acting as a home instructor for high school students with some mental and health issues, and Judy Buffington, a curriculum rate per hour to serve with play-based assessments with our preschoolers. So that's what those two are for. And finally, is a resolution to, once again, edit this 21-22 calendar, and we promise it's the last time. Bob, I think this is where there was one additional day. There were 2 additional days added in for staff. And that is outside of our contracted time with them. So we did adjust that so that the school year is 2 days shorter. So that's the change in there. And we promise that's it. That's the last one we bring. So if it's okay with the board, I would like to group 3A, B, and C and keep D separate and E, F, G, and H. That's good with you.
And then I separate.
And I can be the same too. I'm sorry. Yeah, I didn't scroll.
Okay. That's all right.
I was
Okay.
scrolling there.
All right. Do I have a motion for superintendent's recommendations A, B, and C?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? I'd like to say, welcome, Rob. It was a pleasure to meet you, and I think you're gonna do extremely well and fit into the culture here at Westlake.
Really excited. Scott did promise me many hands.
There with Todd.
And actually, Liz and Barb had a chance to sit in on the interview today. I don't know.
It was, yeah, very excited about.
Any other comments? All right, roll call, Mr. Hopkins?
Kraft,
Yes.
here not,
Yes.
Fanukin,
Yes.
Lizinski,
Yes.
Stoll.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, next up is superintendent's recommendation 3D. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
I would like to echo Dr. Goggins' comments as relates to the leadership of the OC staff and the staff in general for working again collaboratively with us. This is my 8th year on the board, and it's been a very good run, good working relationship between the administration and our classified staff. So much appreciated, all of us working together on that. Any other comments? Okay, very good. Roll call, Mr. Hopkins?
Here not,
Yes.
Lizinski,
Yes.
Fanukin,
Yes.
Kraft,
Yes.
Stoll.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, next up is superintendent recommendations 3E through 3I. Have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Hearing no discussion, roll call, Mr. Hopkins?
Lizinski,
Yes.
Fanukin,
Yes.
Kraft,
Yes.
here not,
Yes.
Stoll.
Yes.
Motion carries.
The next item on the agenda is board items and board comments. Anything from the board that you wish to discuss?
I'll just mention in the spirit of our relationship with the city and also with the police department, some of us had an opportunity to attend Lieutenant Jason Dancy's presentation on, it was back in February with regard to Westlake safety. And the safety had to do with crime that occurs right here in Westlake, in particular to keep neighborhoods safe. Just mention those simple things that we hear often. The 4 Ds of crime prevention: deter, detect, delay, and deny. Deter with things like putting lights on timers. Detecting, many residents in Westlake have alarm systems, and even folks that want to do harm or bad will still get involved in trying to beat the alarm system. And as soon as they break in, quickly heading for the master bedroom for typically jewelry and guns and cash. With regard to delay and deny, to be certain to lock up your house. Suggestion that 80% of stolen cars are in unlocked cars that have a key fob inside. That dogs are a great deterrent, and in the event of a home invasion, to run, hide, and the last effort would be to fight. So I just wanted to share those.
Any other items or comments from the board? None? Okay. Next up, we have an adjournment to executive session. We will discuss appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, or compensation of an individual or official. Please note that we will take no action in the executive session, nor when we return after to the main meeting. Motion to adjourn to executive.
So moved.
Second. Discussion. Hearing none. Roll call, Mr. Hopkins.
To adjourn into executive session at 6:16 PM. Kraft,
Yes.
Fanukin,
Yes.
Lizinski,
Yes.
you're not,
Yes.
Stoll.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Mr. Maver? Yes. You can walk off, but please come back.
I think that's a record.